what I am telling you is me. It happened to. It's not that I'm trying to tell you what I watched in Hollywood. It's me. It happened to. Sexy. You know, there are some of you that any woman you see is you can sleep with strangers, sleep with anybody, say she fine. He met her in the bush, had sex with her, and the woman disappeared. So Paul is saying that if we preach the gospel of Christ, it will lead to what? Deliverance. Are you here? So what is this deliverance? It is God dislodging the flesh, releasing the soul, so that the soul can come back under the government of the Spirit. Are you here? Now, I've taught you about the soul many times. If demons can possess the body with sickness, which areas of the soul do demons affect? The mind, your thoughts, your appetites. Because in the soul is the man's mind, is the heart, is the emotions, is the will. What is in the soul? The mind, the heart, the emotions, and the what? These four areas can be taken over by demons. The one that is not yet born again, because flesh is in control, the mind, the heart, the will, and the emotions are run by a spirit. Ephesians chapter 2, we've read it many times here, from verse 1 to 2. It says that there is a spirit at work in the children of disobedience. And what does that spirit do? It makes them to live a certain way according to the patterns of this world. So that spirit takes over the person's thoughts, takes over the person's will. So the person fornicates, the person lies, the person can be a glutton, the person can engage in all kinds of things and appetites, because their soul has been overtaken by a demon. The person can be possessed by that spirit, can be owned by that spirit. But when the person is born again, ownership by that spirit is no longer possible, because the person is born again and their spirit is regenerated and alive, and the Holy Spirit dwells here. But this that has happened does not guarantee that the soul will be totally free without the partnership of the man himself. So while an unbeliever can be possessed by demons, a Christian can suffer demonic infiltration, demonic infestation, and demonic oppression. Because these ones, what happens is, the believer is not owned by a demon, but there are certain areas of their soul that they have not consecrated fully unto God. So even though they are born again, their will has not been consecrated. Their appetites have not been consecrated. Their thoughts have not been consecrated. This is why when you experience salvation, the Lord now takes you through a process that is called what? Sanctification. It's to bring your soul to a place where you now look like Jesus. Are we together? Yes, sir. This is why many Christians still suffer demonic oppression, where there's an area of their life. So the guy loves Jesus, but when he gets angry, he's like a demon. Have you met those kind of people? You know that this anger is not normal. He's being driven by another spirit. So he loves God, she loves God, but lust is overwhelming. Overwhelming. She cannot resist lust. That area of her life is being demonized. Are you with me? She's not possessed by a demon. A demon does not own her. But that area of her life is it has either been infiltrated, infested, or there's an oppression that is going on. So while a Christian cannot be owned, a Christian can be demonized, because the outer court, this place, if the believer does not submit to the dictates of consecration, demons will look for a way to take charge. Are you with me to that point? So those people that say, now that I'm born again, no demon can trouble my life. Jesus said, ought not this daughter of Abraham? She was a daughter of Abraham. But she was they had a demon in her flesh that had crippled her, turned her into an invalid. She could not move. Crippled her. Even though she was a daughter of Abraham. This is why Jesus was saying that when a demon is cast out from a man, deliverance has occurred. That's like salvation. Are you here? The person is born again. The person is delivered. The person is rejoicing. I'm saved. But you know what the demon does? It goes looking for dry places. You know the interesting thing about that scripture? He says that when he comes back, notice, when he comes back, let's go back there. I will come back here. You know where we are going back to, ba? Matthew 4:23. 12:43. 12. Okay, go to 45. No. 44, that's where I'm looking for. Then he says, I will return to my house from which I came. And when he comes, he finds it what? That's the thing. The demon has been dislodged. But the realm of the spirit does not permit a vacuum. Your soul must be operated by a spirit. Are you here? So he finds that the place is swept. The place is clean. But this person has not come under government, has not consecrated themselves fully to the leadings of the spirit. So the person has become born again, but in their appetites. You know, you think that what you are watching is comedy. Before you got born again, you are struggling with lust, you are struggling with all kinds of immoral thoughts. And yet, throughout the day, you are spending your time listening to people who are cracking crude jokes. You are refusing to consecrate. You know what you are doing? The house is swept clean. The demon is going to come back to check. If he does not find that the Spirit of God has begun to take over your appetites, your thoughts, your will, your emotions, he sees the place swept clean and free. You know what he does? Go to the next verse. He says, he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more what? It means that in demonic kingdom there is hierarchy. Wickedness get level. Are you here? So when Paul says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, Ephesians 6 and verse 12, but against principalities and powers, spiritual wickedness in high places, is hierarchy. The demon goes and gets spirits more wicked than himself, more terrible than himself, and then the latter state of that person is worse. This is why many Christians struggle with certain demonic oppression, because even though they have been born again, they are not yet consecrated to God fully. There are areas of their lives they have not submitted to the government of God. For instance, if in your bloodline immorality is a token for activating covenants, sit down, men of God, sit down. If in your bloodline the way they initiated the ancestral curse is that everybody in that bloodline will be living sexually immoral lives, is the way the covenant is serviced. Then you get born again and you too refuse to live in holiness and purity. You are exposing yourself to sexual immoral, sexual innuendos, sexual things that activate all kinds of sexual appetites in yourself. You will be born again, but that covenant will be active over your life, because that is the token for keeping the covenant alive. So as long as you continue to service that token, you cannot exempt yourself from the consequence of that demonic covenant or curse. This is why many Christians are born again, but they are not enjoying the liberty that comes from it. Because even though the Spirit dwells in the Holy of Holies, the inner court has not yet come under the government of his light. There are areas of their lives they have not fully surrendered to God. And as long as those areas of their lives are not fully surrendered to God, then there's a possibility for an access gate to be formed. This is why tomorrow the first thing we are going to deal with is demonic access gates. tomorrow. Is there an area of your life you have opened? Because an access gate can be opened by you, or it can be opened by someone who has authority over you. So a mother can open a demonic access gate over a child. So when you were giving birth to, your mother took you somewhere and initiated you into something. That's a demonic access gate. Somebody will say, but now I'm born again. Listen, brethren, the realm of the spirit obeys laws. Laws. Why do you think that Satan was afraid to disobey God when God said, you can touch everything in his life, but don't kill him? Don't you think Satan could have just come to the earth and say, after all, I'm the one that is here? He understands hierarchy. He understands the legal dimension of the realm of the spirit. God's words are law. It's the same reason God did not just start afresh when Adam sinned. Are you with me? Yes, when Adam sinned, God could have just said, okay, now me create the world. Wipe everything with eraser and start from the beginning again. No, but he has spoken a law. He said, the day that you eat, you will surely what? Die. So death had begun to act upon Adam. The only way to reverse it was to satisfy the claim of divine justice. Are you with me? So salvation is legal in nature. It's a legal activity to satisfy. That's what Paul calls a propitiation, to satisfy the claims of divine justice. So if someone who has authority over your life takes you and puts you at the altar of Satan, the realm of the spirit recognizes that that person has that authority. A father figure can do that. Put that person under that demonic covenant. So when you get born again, what salvation does for you is that you now have the authority to confront that thing and demand your freedom. Without salvation, you don't have that right. What salvation does for you is gives you a legal basis to now say no. That's what salvation does. It does not take away the fact that that thing has been done. Let me give you an example. As if the person knew I was going to teach this tonight. Somebody called me. You know, I laugh at people when they come to the pulpit and they just say funny things. And don't let anybody deceive you. There's nothing like witchcraft troubling your life. People can say those kind of things if they've never had trouble. If their bloodline is clean. Or a lot of intercessory work has gone into their lives and they are just coasting. They can come and tell you stories about grace. But you that sleeps in the night and you see a visible entity enter your room, you know that this thing this man is saying is not true. You know, it's only if you have never ever experienced the negative supernatural, you will think that the things we are saying are jokes. I prayed one time in Eku, one of the dangerous moments in my life. I had stayed on my feet praying for some time. No need to go into all those details. And then I decided to just take a nap in the early hours of the morning. And what I am telling you is me it happened to. It's not that I'm trying to tell you what I watched in Hollywood. It's me it happened to. The bird literally with claws was on my body like this. I was feeling the claws as it was trying to dig into my body like this. It's not that they told me, it's me. It happened me. It happened to. So when somebody talks and I look at the person, it's because your life is clean. You've never had spiritual opposition. You do not know that the unseen realm, there is a darkness that is seeking to gain influence over man. And if you don't fight back, you will be a victim. I wrestled that thing. There was a cat. I wrestled it where I was. To show me that this thing was not an accident, I woke up the next day after I had done that thing and gained victory. I was walking on the streets in that village. Just walking. And the guy saw me. And he looked at me and he smiled and said, "You'll be a strong man." I knew. The story I actually wanted to tell you is a pastor called me today and was trying to share with me about something going on in a certain family and asking for my intervention. He now started giving me background. The person's father, he told me how the person's father was born. The person's father's father, that is the person's grandfather now, went to the farm. This thing I'm telling you is life story. It's not that it's Nollywood, because it will sound like Nollywood now. Went to the farm to farm. and met a woman there. And this is appetite for sex. You know, there are some of you that any woman you see is, you can sleep with strangers, sleep with anybody, say she fine. Oh. He met her in the bush, had sex with her, and the woman disappeared. Oh. So till today in their village, the father is ostracized. In their village, nobody wants to go near him. You know why? They say he's the child of a spirit. You know, when we say, people who don't come from Africa, they will say, what are you trying to say? So the woman vanished? So you mean she vanished? Come on now. Let it not be that your bloodline has demonic activity and you are taking it for granted. You will be shocked. You will be saved, tongue talking, and certain areas of your life will be struggling, and you will not know why. That family, as I speak to you, mother insane. I'm on camera. I don't want to give further details, so that all the children, one issue or the other, because the man that was the product of that union has not dealt with that issue. Spirits can put marks on men, and if you are not careful to identify it and you take it for granted, you'll be shocked. Sicknesses, when you begin to notice, okay, oh my God, when you begin to notice certain things in your life, what they should do to you is that they should push you to pray. I can teach this thing because I fought my own battles. I got to a point where I just made up my mind that every night they are coming for me. I just became used to it. My own was so vivid that as I lie down, I will see the door opening like this. I'll say, oh, come now, come. Vivid. The door will open like this, then I will see the shadow walk into my room like this. Then where I am, I'm already begging God, help me, help me, help me, help me. Then I will feel the weight of the individual. A lady was sharing with me how the demon will come into her room and physically she will feel in her body that she's having sex and she can't see the person. These things are as a result of gates. What gate does that spirit have to your soul? What is giving that spirit the confidence to invade your space? That is the matter. What area of your life have you not dealt with? What have you not looked at in the eye and say, you can't go further? You know why many people don't get delivered? One of them is wrong theology. As I'm teaching now, some people are just saying, cannot be now. I'm the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. I said, those things will be okay. If there is nothing in your bloodline. But if there's something there and you don't get up and contend for it, you'll be a Christian and you'll be suffering intense backlash. Intense backlash. And you'll be wondering why your life is not moving in the direction. Because there's the outer court and there's the inner court. Demons can portray sicknesses in people's bodies. Demons can take over an area of your life. It's oppression, it's not possession. Some people, what they think is appetite for food is actually the expression of a demon's hunger. That's what you call gluttony. Gluttony. That somebody thinks that he's a boy. He's a boy. Now some boys they eat, then he's eating 32 wraps of fufu. Say, boys they eat, boys they eat. Then you buy 2 loaves of bread, he finishes it. That is not normal. There's a mouth inside his soul that is never fed. He say, no, boys they eat. It's not true. That's what the Bible calls gluttony. You sit down in your house and you notice your elder sister, 40, not yet married. Your immediate elder sister, 38, not yet married. And it's even bad that When you people have your sisters meeting in the house, every month you come for update. In that update meeting, you say, has anybody spoken to you this month? Say, nah, wow. Has anybody spoken? Now, people don't even see you people on the road. Then you think that it is normal. Patterns. Hear what I'm about to say. Negative patterns are most of the time indications of demonic presence. Negative patterns. If you see it as a pattern, most of the time is an indication that a spirit is responsible. And you need to deal with it.
May the Lord give you understanding.